Alright guys, great job on your quizzes. The next part of the chapter is starting to deal with rational functions, which are functions that have x in the denominator. So we lead into that by finding limits at infinity. So limits at infinity mean as x approaches infinity, so all the way to the right of our graph, where is our graph going? Is our graph going up? Is our graph flattening out? It also goes in terms of negative infinity, so as our graph goes to the left, does our graph go up? Does it flatten out, or does it go down? So we're going to try some examples. What you do on these, we're finding the limit as x approaches infinity. So what we're going to do is, if we would plug in infinity now, we would get 3 times infinity squared minus 3 times infinity plus 1 over infinity. That doesn't make any sense. So what we need to do is we need to divide each term by the x to the highest power in the denominator. So our denominator is just x. So for this example, we're just going to divide every term by x. So 3x squared divided by x minus 3x divided by x plus 1 over x. All of it is x divided by x. So I took every term and divided by x, as you can see here. So I'm going to simplify. This 3x squared over x becomes 3x. This 3x over x simplifies to 3. The 1 over x stays 1 over x. On bottom, we have x divided by x, which is 1. So what we're going to do is we are going to put in infinity now. We're going to see what we get. If we put infinity in there, we have 3 times infinity minus 3 plus 1 over infinity, all of it divided by 1. What is 3 times infinity? It's still infinity. Minus 3 plus, what is 1 divided by infinity? Well, 1 divided by a huge number is very close to 0. So we're going to put 0 there over 1. So we have infinity minus 3. So if we take away 3 from infinity, we're still at infinity. If we add 0 to infinity, we're still at infinity. So our answer is infinity on this one. So that means as x goes to the right, our graph, y value, is going up. So our graph over here is going to be going up in that direction, towards infinity. So let's try a different one with a bigger denominator. What you're going to divide by is the biggest exponent, x to the biggest exponent in the bottom. So our bottom's biggest exponent is this x to the 5th. So I'm going to take 7x to the 4th and divide it by x to the 5th. I'm going to take 5x squared and divide it by x to the 5th. I'm going to take 3 and divide it by x to the 5th. On bottom, I'm going to take 6x to the 5th divided by x to the 5th. I'm going to take the 4x and divide it by x to the 5th. I'm going to take the 1 and divide it by x to the 5th. So if you simplify each part of that fraction, 7x to the 4th over x to the 5th becomes 7 over x. The second part becomes negative 5 over x cubed. This last part stays 3 over x to the 5th. The bottom of your fraction becomes 6 plus 4 over x to the 5th minus 1 over x to the 5th. So the bottom did not simplify very much. And I screwed up. That is not 4 over x to the 5th. That would be 4 over x to the 4th. Alright, so now we're going to plug in infinity. So we have 7 over infinity minus, too many minuses there, 5 over infinity plus 3 over infinity divided by 6 plus 4 over infinity minus 1 over infinity. So 7 over infinity, 7 divided by a big number is going to be 0. 5 divided by a big number is 0. 3 divided by a big number is 0. On the bottom, we have 6. 4 divided by a big number is 0. Negative 1 divided by a big number is 0. So you have all these zeros on top, so our top is 0. On bottom, we have 6 plus zeros, so we get 6. 0 divided by 6 is 0. So what that means is, as our graph goes to the right, our y value is approaching 0. So our graph is flattening out. See if you can do this one on your own. So divide each term by x cubed. Divide the bottom by x cubed. Alright, simplify. You get 5 minus 3 over x squared divided by 4 plus 4 over x cubed. So, plug in infinity. So 5 minus 3 over infinity divided by 4 plus 4 over infinity. 3 over infinity becomes 0, so 5 minus 0. 4 over infinity becomes 0, so 4 plus 0. So on top you get 5, and on bottom you get 4. So on this one, our graph is flattening out at 5/4. So it's becoming flat. See if you can do this one. This one's a little different. We have this right here that isn't underneath here. You can still do it. So we keep the 9 the same. Over here we're going to divide that by x squared. So x over x squared and 2x squared over x squared. So on top you get 1 over x. And on bottom you get 2. So we're going to plug in infinity. So we have 9 minus 1 over infinity over 2. We have 9 minus 0 over 2. So we have 9. Please come with questions for next time.